Welcome back to the Huge Yanks. Bienvenue à the Huge Yanks. We're talking Canada soccer and U.S. soccer, and we're going to be talking about a game that happened approximately 3 days ago, which will be that time when this video has been processed and uploaded. As this the U.S. versus Uzbekistan women's international friendly game that I promised to have to you guys, but I never promised it would be on time. So this is being unfathomably late. 3 days late, as I said, given how the ongoing exams and stuff. Although good news is I just finished up the last exam for at least 2 weeks. I'm not done yet, as there's still the two exams to complete on the 27th and 28th. But at least I get a 2 week break. But unfortunately, there's no games that are going on in the 2 weeks I can cover. However, a subscriber, which I'll show your name here, recommended that I would do a video. So if you're seeing this video, kudos to you and props to you. You gave me another video suggestion I can do over these 2 weeks that are coming up, as well as just catching up on generic work and studying for the final two exams. So yeah, you might be seeing a video released in the next 2 weeks, or in between the snooks. I can't even talk, guys. In between these next 2 weeks of time, where I'll be covering the subject that the subscriber recommended to me. So kudos to him, as I said, for giving me a new topic and video to react on during the little off season here, or off stretch that we have between international teams. And also, one thing I want to mention too, I still can't talk. For Canada and the USA women's, I know how I've been saying in the friendlies that both teams have been prepping for the big September, right? The big tournament that in CONCACAF that will now dictate both the World Cup qualifier and an Olympic qualifier. Yeah, it's not September, it's July. So it's sooner than, it always has been sooner, but I've been saying the wrong day. So it's sooner than what I've been saying. So nonetheless, it's July, not September. So even more important for the USA and Canada to work on their friendlies. I think they'll have one more window in June. So literally the month before. Which, hey, there's 2 games left. That makes sense. I was like, why is it in September and there's only 2? Is it going to be in July? But nope, it's in June. Big month starts in July, a big year. So we'll see what both teams have. But nonetheless, kind of segue into this. USA tonight, or USA 3 nights ago, basically started their youngest ever lineup since 2007. I can't remember the exact age. It was definitely 24 point something, and you'll see it when I go over the lineup. But it just shows once again the transition period that the USA is in. Old to young. It's the passing of the torch, and it's time to get some new players in. Boy, we have a lot of new faces that happened. New keeper, Aubrey Kingsbury, which instead of I believe Murphy, Casey Murphy, I believe, instead of her, we have a new keeper that's gonna be getting tested here, and we have Sofia Huerta, which that's a new name, or a name that we haven't been seeing a lot play, and glad to see her get some playing time there. Mallory Pugh, we know her. Sophia Smith, we know her. Naomi Germa, we know her. Or actually, no, she's relatively new too. Ashley Sanchez, I think she's played here and there. Alana Cook, a little bit, but not part of the main roster, I believe. Roosevelt, yeah, it's Roosevelt, we know her. Andy Sullivan, she's always been around. Emily Fox, sometimes in, sometimes out. And Katarina Macario, which we all know too good at this point. Arguably the star of the game, or for both games. She just keeps finding a way to score. And at least against Uzbekistan, they couldn't stop her throughout the fast 2 games. So nonetheless, let's talk about the goals. We have a lot of goals to talk about. By the way, I forgot to mention, final score ended 9 to the good of Uzbekistan, in favor of the USA. Once again, the USA scores 9 goals back-to-back against Uzbekistan for a second game in a row. But keep in mind, no offense to Uzbekistan, it is Uzbekistan, and they really expected to do this. And no surprises here, as we've basically got what we asked for. And it could have easily been more, once again, if the USA could bury a lot more of their chances. But As I said in the last video, 9-0, 13-14, whatever, it's still a blowout victory, and it won't change the point that the USA won by big. So, yeah, so USA, Uzbekistan. Let's talk about the goals. And immediately, like 15 seconds in, Roosevelt is already dribbling the ball down the sideline and does some skill moves, crosses in, bounces off an Uzbekistan player, and into a goal for their own goal. 1-0 USA. The exact recorded time, I believe, for that was 25.4 seconds, and it almost beat Ashley Hatch's time at 24 seconds for Australia when they played. But once again, USA showing what they can do off kickoff. If you're not careful, they can press you, or if they have the ball, they can attack real quick and really run it down your throat. In the 12th minute, Catamari Rocario has a direct free kick and just scores off the post and into the box. Bonk! It's now a 2-0 USA. And unfortunately, the announcers, they weren't, that normally say, go! They weren't there, but it was still enjoyable. Still enjoyable. But this, you surely heard that loud bonk from the post as it went 2-0 USA. And 12 minutes in, USA already have a 2-0 lead. Not long after Macario's free kick, Roosevelt is on the ball. She uses Macario as a little backheel pass to Mallory Pugh, who scores. And it's 3-0 USA. And it started looking ugly for Uzbekistan just 14 minutes in. Hey, then again, it was expected. USA was supposed to lay down the log, and so far they were laying down the log. Keep in mind, a lot of these shots were missed, as we're going to go to the stats, and the stats really are going to emphasize that. 25th minute, it's Mallory Pugh down the sideline, who crosses in, deflects off an Uzbekistan player for Lavelle. Lavelle shoots, saved by the keeper, great save by the keeper. By the way, she made a lot more better decisions in terms of coming out. And she definitely, for Uzbekistan, she definitely showed massive improvement from the last game. However, Roosevelt follows up her own shot and scores. And kids and people, this is why you always follow up your own shots. I mean, you hear this from basketball, but soccer especially. Always follow your shot when you shoot, because you never know what the keeper could do. Keeper could mishandle it like she did here. Just couldn't handle it properly, and she gets punished by the shooter. It is now 4-0 USA, but kids, you never know. Follow your shot. Always run. Keep running until the keeper, or what I normally used to do is when I played, I would run right to the keeper, even after he had it, just in case he dropped it or something. And then sometimes they did, and I was able to take it, dribble around him, and slide it back. But you just never know. He could just mishandle. He can deflect off their glove and bounce right back to you, and you can go around him or whatever. But you just never know. That's why you always follow up your own shots, and Roosevelt showed us exactly why we should always do so. 28th minute, Roosevelt dribbles up the middle of the pitch. She crisscrosses up the Uzbekistan defender. My oh my, was she good. She literally sends him shimmying to the one way and shimmying to the other, and bangs it off the post again. Bonk! And into the back of the net. Golazo! This is not a goal. This is a golazo, as it's now 5-0 USA, just 28 minutes in. Roosevelt just showing us why she's Roosevelt. I mean, you look at the crowd's reaction, they're just in their seats, just slow clapping. But as they just already expected this, and at this point it was already a rout. But Roosevelt, take nothing less from that. Absolute class. You know, even if the fans kind of knew it was coming, she still showed absolute class and why she is Roosevelt. And I mean, yeah. And then the second minute of extra time or added time before halftime, the USA swings in a short corner of Roosevelt. She has it on the top of the box, lays off to Catarina Macario in the box, who then turns on 3 defenders as they literally have her trapped, literally surrounded. Or Steve Dangle calls it a prayer circle around her, and she's just able to turn, finds an open space, and puts it past everybody and in. Watch, unbelievable. And she too, just showing us why she's becoming and quickly emerging as a star for this team. Catamir Cario, not only can she bang in free kicks, she can turn when there's 3 defenders or 3 people guarding her, and it's 6-0 USA. And yeah, I saw that and I was like, I don't know how she did that. Thought it would at least like a deflection or a clearance, but it went in. Then we jumped to the 71st minute where Trinity Rodman, by the way, she came off the bench and she was still seeking her first international goal, and yeah, she got it. And even though it was against Uzbekistan, I mean, the announcers made a good point as they said that this mainly served as, if anything, a confidence booster, or just showing her that, hey, no matter the opponent, she still got quality. But nonetheless, Trinity Rodman receives a bouncing ball in from the middle of the pitch from Ashley Hatch, kind of pings off each other for a little bit, and she gets control of it, slots it home all day, all night. Keeper, there's no saving that. As she gets her seventh, as they said, she gets her first international goal in a U.S. uniform. 7-0 USA. And we go to the 85th minute. USA swings in a ball, free kick from the USA into the havoc zone. It pings and bangs around for a little bit before before Uzbekistan. I mean, I don't know what they did here. They just failed to clear this one, and nonetheless, not Mallory Pugh, but Mitch Purse. Mitch Purse is there and just punishes them for it. As the USA will punish you if you don't, or any good team for that matter will punish you if you don't put these if you don't clear it away, as Uzbekistan failed to do. And this game was notably for that, if I can say that right. Set pieces just really killed Uzbekistan that day, and the USA just did the right thing as you're supposed to do, pounce on the mistakes, and it paid off in turning the goals. But yeah, it's 8-0 at this point, and at this point, if this was high school soccer, there would be a mercy rule if some schools or leagues had it. I know mine definitely did, and I honestly, some people, it was like, I don't know, it was favorable, but at the same time not favorable, as many people just want to keep playing no matter what, as instead of just calling the game short, if it was 8-0, but I don't know, at the same time, it kind of also proves, it keeps the team from further proving a point, as they've already proved a point, but I don't know. Mercy rule, I personally would have kept playing even if my team was getting beat down, but because, hey, more playing time. Who loves that? Even if you're losing, or at least for me. But I don't know. People are different, and people have different opinions on the mercy rule. But that's off topic. But it is 8-0 USA at this point, and then however, that wouldn't end for Uzbekistan, as literally in the 89th minute, the last second, a ball is swinging from the corner and into the havoc zone once again, and it's basically, it's chipped over everybody's head. It's banged around, but Ashley Sanchez gets control of it. She chips it over everybody's head and into the side of the net, as this is once again the last kick of the game, and it's now 9 to the good of Uzbekistan. It's that this time the USA, despite scoring 9 goals back-to-back in the second game in a row, they preserved the shutout, and it ends. That's the way it ends. 9 to the good of Uzbekistan. Tough 2 games for Uzbekistan, but perhaps lots and lots to take away and learn from them, despite getting, beat down. Like set pieces, they can definitely work on that. The keeper, as I said, did do a better job from the Columbus game of being cognizant of where she comes out of and not getting burned as much. This time she just got beat with, not cleaning up and not being able to clear stuff out, like Roosevelt following up her own shot. This is the kind of stuff she got burned with, but then again, it was not entirely her fault, as, you got to look at the defense too, as Uzbekistan defense it was just poor. And they just, over these next 2 games going back, they just need to look at this and reevaluate these games and just really get a stranglehold and really just at least improve on these mistakes. But nonetheless, we move to the stats, and as I said, you remember me saying the stats are going to emphasize, the U.S.'s dominance over Uzbekistan. Well, here they are. Just look at this. This is, how I remember saying in the Columbus game where I've never seen a stat like that before from any team. Well, now I'm gonna say it again. I've never seen a stat like this from any other team, and as the USA had 38 shots, and Uzbekistan failed to even register a shot on target. 15 of those 38 shots were on target for the USA, so a little less than half, but 38 shots? Dang. 68% possession to 32% possession. 437 passes completed to 230 passes completed. So it looks like compared to the last game, USA was just more direct with this one. Although they enjoyed less present and less passing around, they were just focused on putting the ball in the back of the net and proving that they can score. Which, before I continue with the stat, I mean, it does prove a point for the USA in this lineup the particular lineup that they played as. It was just like, we got a lot of youngsters, I said, trying to prove a point. And, they're trying to prove to, Vlatko and Anaski that, hey, they do belong in the running and they are worthy of playing and being in the conversation come World Cup or Olympics. So that's why this particular squad and group had something to play for in terms of playing direct. So for them, it was never about not scoring enough goals. It was for them, put the ball in the back of the net as much as possible. That way you can prove a point and kind of send a message to other people, other teammates who are competing for spots. 81% pass accuracy to 49% pass accuracy. 11 fouls to 10. No yellow cards for USA, or 2 to Uzbekistan. No red cards. 2 offside to none for the USA, and then 13 corners to none for Uzbekistan. Basically a repeat of game 1, except with a different lineup. That's the story of this game. And as I'm going to keep saying, I'm going to keep harping, is 2 friendlies left, 1 window to do it before July and not September. I know it was Uzbekistan, and maybe they can't get tough opponents due to ongoing pandemic restrictions and other qualifiers that are happening around the world, like European World Cup qualifiers are going on. Asia's also having their qualifiers. South America looks pretty booked as well. But so finding opponents for the USA is without a doubt hard. It's really challenging. But nonetheless, going forward, we'll see what they can do for June. I believe is when the next women's friendlies are. As July, if July is a big month, I would assume June will be the month that they have their final tune-up and get ready for the important CONCACAF qualifiers. But that'll be a fun tournament. 2 things to play for in one, never before. Oh, please, that'll be fascinating and should be games galore to watch for both Canada and USA. But pretty much, I mean, it's a repeat of what I just said last time. I mean, this is the final, or one of the final games the USA is using to work on, not only get ready for a big year, but to get other players integrated, young players specifically, into the pool and get them opportunity to play. So, I mean, it's a repeat. It was a thrashing, but the USA has to do this, as the announcer said, in order just to really show that, competition among roster spots is fierce and anything is up for grabs, and show why each one of these players belong on this women's team. So USA had to do this for the past 2 games. I know many's going to see these games as meaningless for the USA, but nonetheless, there are probably some moments that they can take away. But we'll see what Vlatko and Anaski can work on, and we'll see what they can do, and we'll see what next opponent they have. But pretty much, that's not really much to talk about for this one, other than it's just a repeat of game 1. And just once again, another opportunity to integrate young lineups and young new faces before an all-important July and not September for the big year. So that pretty much does it for the video. If you like this video, make sure you like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about it. Also, remember to hit the bell notification when you know when the video is uploaded, posted, and just in case, or for perfect, like this video is being insanely late, it's a perfect opportunity to do so and hit the bell notification. That way we know when a particular video of your team is uploaded. And tell all your friends, just one more window open before an all-important July and not September.